Afternoon, people. Back in the office, late Saturday afternoon. I thought I'd do this video to let the people viewing these videos and also the subscribers a bit more about what goes on with Karls Mowing business. At the moment, I'm just putting videos up about, what I do, mow lawns and gardens and that. That's what you guys see, but behind all that is the real ins and outs of my lawn business. So I thought I'd let you know about my weekly routine, how I run my business and manage it. So there's a few sections to running this business, and I'll slowly go through them and we'll carry on. Okay, so how do I get new customers and quotes? Well, I advertise. I'll get into that a bit later, but what normally happens, beginning of the week, off I go. I start my roster of just lawns, and during the week I'll get phone calls and texts from people inquiring about my service. So this week I had 11 phone calls or texts inquiries, and out of them there was 5 garden jobs, 2 lawn jobs, and the rest were just general questions. What do you do? What do you charge? So that was that. Out of those garden jobs, I got all of them, and the lawn mowing jobs, I've completed one, and I've got a follow up on one on Thursday. The woman agreed to the price, and I said, well, I'll come around next Thursday and do it. But what I do is I make a call before I come, a day or two before I come. I'll just say, you still want me to do the service? Because sometimes they find somebody else and they don't tell you, but that's okay. Out of those 5 garden jobs, or out of those 5 garden quotes, 3 of them were regular customers, 1 was a new customer, and 1 was a old regular customer that stopped the service. So I'll just let you know about that job. Okay, the woman was elderly, and all I used to do was go around once a fortnight, maintain her courtyard area and that. She had a couple of health issues, ended up in hospital a couple of times, came back. The family said, hey mum, better go into a retirement village of some sort, and she agreed. So she moved out, and the story goes, the great-grandson said to Nana, you don't need that lawn guy, I'll look after it until it goes up on the market. It was a unit. So Margaret says to the grandson, yeah, okay, you do that, I'll ring Carl and let him know. So she done the business, give me the tip, thanks for the service. Been doing it for 18 months. I'm going into a retirement village. No worries, I said, all the best. 10 weeks later, she phones me back and says, Karl, can you come back and service the unit area? The grandson isn't keeping it up to standard, and it doesn't look too good. And I knew it didn't look too good because I used to go past every fortnight because I got a job, 500 metres down the road, and I just used to glance as I went past and I could see it growing, but I wasn't going to ring her. So I said, yeah, no worries, I'll go around. I went around and yeah, it's out of control. Well, 10 weeks. The lawn's been growing, the hedges are growing as well. Needs a weed spray. So, if you do a good job and the customer says, sorry, I can't continue on with the service, and then a few months later they ring you back, to yourself, you've done a good job. Also, what I do, I have my phone in the van and I leave it there, and every time I hop in the van after a job, I pick the phone up and have a look, see if there's been a phone call or a text. I contact them straight away when I hop in the van. The reason is, the longer you leave it, that's the more chance of them ringing someone else or texting someone else. So that's what I do. Okay, the next part is stopping services or cancelling of services. I've had 2 of them this week. One was a regular customer. I've done that property for 12 weeks. He sent me an email just saying, Karl, I've moved out. Can you stop the service there on that address? I went, yeah. I just replied, yeah. No worries. All good. Actually, that customer had another property, or has another property, and I also do that one. And the second customer was a property manager. He rang me up and said, can you go and check this place out? And I went around, from a photo it was, so I went around, had a look, contacted him back and gave him a price to just do the job. That was on a Friday. On the Wednesday, he sends me a text message and says, oh, Karl, on your next visit can you do this bit extra here? And we had that conversation, and I said, yeah, I can do it, but we have to renegotiate a price. He just said, Karl, stop the service, which I said, yeah, fine, no worries. I actually made a video about that, quoting from a picture. Also, for me, if I lose a customer or 2 or 3 or 4, I'm not too worried about it, because I've got a steady number of customers, and what you lose, you always pick up. You might pick up one in the next week, or one the week after, or in a month, So for those new people out there, starting a lawn business, it's pretty hard to take when you get a customer and you lose one pretty quick, but just hang in there. That's part of the game, The other thing I do during the week is you got to do your invoicing. Do the job. When you get home, what I do the invoicing at the table after dinner, and I send all my invoicing out that night for the jobs done that day. I find that really works well for me. If you let it go for a day or 2 or 3, you slowly get a big build-up of invoicing to be sent out. And you know, sometimes you miss one or two. And that's happened to me. So I just had to adjust my ways on the invoicing. But also when I'm doing the invoicing, sending them out, I'm actually checking my bank statement for the day for people who have paid their invoices, and I adjust it on their file. And same thing, if you don't do that for a few days, although you don't miss the payments, it takes a while to catch up on them, you know, because you're always going from bank statement to their file, back to the bank statement. So yeah, and that's about it for invoicing, and I do that daily. The next thing would be what I brought for the business to keep it running. Okay, well, every week I have to buy the fuel for the van and the machines. I buy data once a month, and that's for the phone. Yeah, and I had to go buy a new rake this week because that other fella, he lost the old one, and I do know where he lost it, eh? But that's okay. And I had to buy a new battery for the van as well. I had that battery for a while. The guy reckons who replaced it, the AA guy, he said, oh, it's, you know, it's been in here for 6 years, you know. So it's had a good run. Yeah, it had a good run. I called the AA out 3 times, for this bloody battery. So I had to bite the bullet, just purchase a new one. There. Now what else is there? That's about it. This is the first time I've done a video like this. So I hope people who are thinking about starting a lawn business, if you can get a tip out of here that can help you, that's really good. But also what I'll do once a week on this little segment, I'll give out a tip, what I think would help a new person coming into the lawn game. So here's my first tip. It's the word reliable. And what I mean by that is all these people out there that want their lawns mowed, or they want a garden tidy up, they want a reliable service. I have that on my van. When people are phoning up lawn services, some want a one-off job, but the majority of them want a regular service. So, to me, that means to be reliable. If you make an agreement, which I do, you know, it's just there's no contract to it. I explain everything about what I do, and I say to them, every fortnight I'll be there, and every 3 weeks in June, July and August. Do what you say you're going to do. Don't say you'll be there every 2 weeks and then you rock up on the 3rd week or 4th week. The customer doesn't want that. They don't want to be sitting out on their decking or patio looking out the kitchen window and going, jeepers, where's that lawn person? It's getting long out there. So that's what reliable means, and it works for me. So that's about it. I'll just get my last word in. Up to 32 subscribers, thank you very much. I'm actually getting a few comments, and on one of the videos I've had over 1,000 views. I'm pretty happy, I'm stoked. And I want to say thank you to everyone out there that's viewing my videos, and also a big thank you to those new subscribers. I reckon I'll see you at the next one next week. Okay, take care.